I was standing at the airport waiting to pick her up. The plane had landed, but all the passengers were still inside. I'm dressed to impress. I have a nice suit on, fancy Italian leather shoes. And in this crowd of people waiting, a man walks up to me and he says, "Hey, I like your shoes. What would you do if I took them off your feet?" Oh, it was perfect timing because the passengers were just walking off the plane. I said, "You can try, but do you see that woman over there? She's a world champion boxer. And me, I'm her ride." Of all the people walking off the plane, you could tell which one I was talking about. She even looked like a 6-time world champion. And it wasn't how she was dressed. She was just wearing jeans and a sweatshirt. But there was something about the way she walked, the humble confidence in which she carried her body, where you could feel her presence. She was the most accomplished female fighter ever. She is the most dangerous woman in the world. She is the one they call the Dutch Destroyer, Lucia Riker. She was in the movie $1 Million Baby. She was also on National Geographic's Fight Science. The episode, Can a Girl Hit as Hard as a Guy? And they matched her up with a male Olympic boxer in the same weight class. And they measured his punch. And they measured her punch. And she hit 200 pounds of force harder than he did. This is not the woman you'd want to steal shoes from. Or the shoes of her friends. Lucia walks up to me and I said, "It's a good thing you showed up. Some guy just tried to steal my shoes." She said, "What guy?" I said, "That guy that's staring at us." She turned and looked at him with a calm, cool confidence. And with only a smile, she knocked him out. Lucia had flown in to speak at a convention for Pink Gloves Boxing. It's a women's fitness and empowerment program. I was introduced as the founder, but I think it's more accurate to say that it found me. I spent all of my life looking for something that I already had. And that day, standing in my fancy clothes, Lucia showed me that it's not what you wear, it's how you wear it. And I think this concept needs to be applied to the fitness industry. I believe that fitness is not about changing what's on the outside. It's about finding what's on the inside. Our Pink Gloves vision statement is revealing the champion from within. The idea that everyone already has what they're looking for, we just need to reveal it. This is the story of how Pink Gloves Boxing found me, how I found myself, and how the world found a movement for women's empowerment, all by looking in the last best place. I grew up on a ranch near Butte. When I'm traveling around speaking, most people don't know where Butte is. So I say, it's where Evel Knievel's from. That always works. Then I say, he was crazy and he was tough, but I am telling you, Evel Knievel was not as tough as my mom. She also grew up on a ranch with 6 younger brothers. My mom's about this tall. If I ever talked back to her, she had a way of stopping me without saying a word, with just a look. I think some of you have seen this look before. Without even moving her lips, it was as if she said, "You might be big, but you're not that big." She's a tough lady, but this doesn't mean she isn't feminine. If you'd ever seen someone put on lipstick before going out to clean the horse stalls, you know what I mean. I learned at an early age that strength has no gender. I never questioned the strength of a woman, mentally or physically. When I competed in boxing, my mom gave me a lot of encouragement. Where my friends' parents would say, "What happens if he breaks his nose?" My mom would say, "Well, there goes the modeling career." She would even hold mitts for me while I punched. But on the day of competition, she'd always say, "Now you're on your own. I can buy your equipment and I can help you train, but I can't fight for you." And she was right. When I stepped into the ring, or when we step into the ring of life, we have only our own strength to draw from. It has to come from within. We can't be afraid of getting knocked down. Eventually it happens. And when we get knocked down, we have to get back up. It's only when we stay down that it's a knockout. With this in my blood, I wasn't afraid, but I was lost. High school is the time of your life when you get asked one question 1,000,000 times. Am I right? And when you're a boxer, there's another question that you get asked a lot. I had the same answer for both questions. What are you going to do when you graduate? I don't know. How many times have you had your nose broken? In 3 years, I went to 4 different colleges, had 5 different majors, and not one clue what I wanted to do. I was looking outside for something that can only be found on the inside. One of my professors said, "Are you going to go to college forever?" I don't know what I want to do. He said, "That's the easiest question you ever have to answer. What is it that you love doing? If you do that, you'll find what you're looking for." Really? It might have been the timing. It might have been that I had my nose broken more times than I could count. But when he said that to me, it really struck a chord. I mentioned that I always loved fitness. Ever since I was in 7th grade, I would make my own workout routines and train my friends. He said, "People get paid for that, you know. You can make a living doing that." Really? I became a personal trainer. I was building my clientele, and one day I got a call from a woman in a town 60 miles away. The first thing she said when I picked up the phone was, "I just fired my past personal trainer, and you were recommended." I thought, uh-oh, why'd you fire the last guy? She said he would always break me down and compare me to his other clients. I'd come in to train and he'd say, "You only did 10 reps today, Susie did 15. Negative motivation. I said, "I'll never do that to you. When we train, it'll only be about comparing you to you." One day I brought in my boxing gloves and mitts, and she said, "I don't want to box." I said, "Okay, but you have to try these on." She put on the gloves and she started to punch, and pretty soon she's giving it everything she had. She said, "Oh my gosh, I have to invite a friend." So she invited a friend who invited her friend who invited her second cousin, and pretty soon there was a group of 10 women. They went from one-on-one training to a small group. I had no idea how it was going to work, but together we built a routine. Opposed to her old trainer's negative system that brought you to tears, we created a tier system, like martial arts. We'd say instead of earning a black belt, you'd earn pink gloves. As it grew, I would drive 2 hours back and forth to train these women. And I noticed something really interesting was happening. I would be with them twice a week, training, and they would be together 3 or 4 times already. They would go on hikes together. They would drink coffee together. They would drink wine together. They became a community. People would always joke and call them the Red Hat Society of Fitness or the Ya-Ya Sisterhood of Boxing. It wasn't about just fitness anymore. It was a way of life, about helping each other and inspiring each other to follow their passion and to find what they already have. This is what I mean when I say that pink gloves found me. When you follow your passion, you never know what you're going to find. But often it's greater than anything you've ever looked for. I want to show you what I mean. I think it would be really cool to bring up the curator of TEDxWhitefish, Cassandra Sennell. We know she's really good at putting on an event. Now let's see how she is in the ring. Cassandra? All right. Do you know what you're getting into? Have you ever punched before?
No, not really. Not with gloves.
This is a setup, isn't it? She looks tough. All right, are you right-handed or are you left-handed? Okay, you're gonna put your left foot in the front.
All right.
Because that's your power hand. We're gonna keep that in the back.
Okay.
Hands up, elbows in, just like that. She's gotta look like a boxer. The first punch you're gonna throw is with your lead hand, and that's gonna be the jab. You're just gonna stick the left hand out and hit right here. Whoa, all right. Again, good, another one? Yeah, that's like the range finder. You get your distance, and then after you throw that one, you're gonna turn and throw the two right here. We're gonna call that a one and call that one a two. So the 1 and 2. Oh yeah, one more. She's got the power. Now, watch this. When you throw that 2 and you're holding that 2 out, go ahead. Yeah. There's a shot for TEDxWhitefish. When you throw that, every time you throw a punch, you leave yourself open to be hit by a punch. But you know that it could be coming. This is why they call boxing the sweet science. So you know that when you throw that, I can throw this, and what you're going to do is duck under it. So you throw that 2, and I throw this, and you just duck under it. Yes, and then come back with another 2. Oh, yeah. So we're going to go 1, 2, duck, and then 2. So you throw the 1, 2 at me. I throw a hook, and then you come back. Boom! One more. 1, 2, duck, boom! All right, all right. Last thing. We know that there's a lot of stress that goes into putting on these conventions, and we're going to try to release all of that right now. Just going to throw a jab, cross, 1, 2, 1, 2. Start slow, feel your distance, and then 10 of them as hard and as fast as you can. 1, 2, 3, count with me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, boom! Nice job. Very good. She's got the power. I have a gift for you. Revealing the champion, and then you flip it on the inside and it says, from within. Thank you very much. So I can show you our boxing drills and routines. What we just did was a basic boxing movement that would be in tier 1, and there's 7 tiers with leadership, goal setting, team building, and it's really about the community though. And I can show you these drills, but I can't make you feel the power of the community. Last year, one of our trainers wanted to start a high school boxing class because her daughter was in high school, and her daughter had a friend who was a cutter. Can you imagine being in such a dark place or feeling so alone and that you don't belong that you would cut your own body? Our trainer was going to Pink Gloves class, and she picked both girls up from school. She said, you should try this out, it'll be fun. And to her daughter's friend, she said, I don't want to. She goes, well, I'm going to be here for an hour before I can give you a ride home, so I think you should just come in and try it out. I really think you'll enjoy it. She said, okay. And like it always happens, when they walk through those doors and feel the warmth of a positive atmosphere where they're not compared to anyone else, where it's okay to just be yourself and you don't have to fit in, she started to put on the gloves. She started to punch. She started to give it everything she had, and she had an emotional release. She said this was a lot of fun. Well, she joined. And 2 months later, our trainer got a call from the little girl's mother in tears. She said, I can't thank you enough. Since she's joined the group, she's been happier. She hasn't cut herself. And her father and I are just glad to have our little girl back. This is why I do what I do. Helping other people to find themselves has helped me find myself. Our vision statement is not just revealing the champion from within. It's revealing the champion from within each other. And what started with one woman and her personal trainer in Montana has since grown to 30 locations across the U.S. and as far east as Sweden. One of our Swedish members, after class, she said, I have to tell you something. I know you don't advocate using our skills, but I used to worry about getting mugged when I walked to my car. Now I think, come on, try me. She's in her 60s. You wouldn't want to steal her shoes. It's not because of her outside appearance. Sure, she's stronger and now she knows how to throw a punch. It's her inside strength. The Pink Gloves community is redefining the fitness industry. An industry that so often is focused on an image, selling you a plan for how you can change your body, your outside, and telling people what they should look like. But real fitness is not about changing your appearance. It's about finding your identity. Everyone has a champion within. Revealing your champion means finding your purpose in life, to look inside yourself, to see your potential, and to help other people find theirs. And if everything you find is always in the last place you look, doesn't that make the last place the best place? The champion you are looking for is within the last best place.